Hey everybody, this is the latest episode of Spider Does Things, and it's the Uncanny Spirits Club. I had a better way to say that when I was thinking in my head. I was going to say, this is the channel, Spider Does Things, that'd be me, and this is the show, Uncanny Spirits Club on Spider Does Things. So, I have something super exciting to taste tonight because I've been looking forward to it, and I did not ever expect to get the chance to try it anytime soon at a reasonable price. So let me and let me see if I can make sure I'm checking the price comparisons online to make sure I'm accurate in what I've been seeing it for. Because I want to make sure I got a great deal, I think. Honestly. Yep, pretty sure. Okay, so what do I have? Well, you may have seen on the channel before. Pardon me, I haven't talked like this all day. I've been kind of quiet, so my throat's kind of like, oh, you're making this move. But I've talked about Lagavulin before. Lagavulin Scotch whiskey. And I know that's a bit of a mouthful, Lagavulin. And they are from Islay, which is the islands of Scotland. I know Scotland is kind of like an islandy area, but it's a specific set of islands where they make most of the whiskey that comes from that region is peat smoked, which means it has a very heavy, kind of swampy kind of background taste, which I really enjoy. Bruichladdich does it, Laphroaig does it. What's the other one? There's another Ardbeg. Ardbeg does it. I know I've reviewed Ardbeg before, and so this is Lagavulin, and Lagavulin had a partnership with Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman is an actor who his most famous, I think, role to date is on Parks and Recreation or Parks and Rec. He's Ron Swanson. Hilarious. I don't watch the show. I don't watch much TV, but I watch clips on YouTube sometimes of his parts, and they're hilarious. They're awesome. And he also plays Metalbeard in the Lego movies. So if you've seen those, he's the pirate. But he endorsed Lagavulin, which he drinks on Parks and Rec. And they got together with him and they made an edition, an Offerman edition of Lagavulin that was very good. I've had a couple of bottles of it, and it's excellent stuff. I love it. And recently they came out with a new kind. And here it is. Lagavulin Offerman edition. If my camera will focus right, Charred oak cask. And this showed up recently, like within the last couple of months. Earlier in the year, definitely. And it was priced at like $150 when it first came out, and it was called a super limited edition. And all the websites I was looking at it on, with like shipping and everything, was going to be well over like $200. And I didn't have those kind of funds for a single bottle. And it looked delicious because I loved the Lagavulin already. That was the Offerman edition, the original. And you can see he's got like a little logo up at the top with himself on it, very Ron Swanson-esque. And so because of the price and the timing and it was supposed to be super limited, I didn't think I would ever get a chance to try this in a reasonable amount of time. And by the time I got around to it, I figured the price would shoot up. I was in the grocery store a few days ago. It was what day was it? It was Sunday. So it wasn't a few days ago. It was just like yesterday. I was there yesterday. And I had to pick up a couple things, and I was like, I'm just going to swing through the little spirits area that they keep that stuff in, because in Ohio they keep it all in a specific area. And I went in there. I wasn't looking for it. The thought hadn't even crossed my mind. I was looking for just, something tasty. And I saw it at the top of the shelf. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was just like stunned. And it was priced on sale at $94.99, which is expensive for a bottle. And I was like, I'll put it on a credit card. I gotta try it. I'm never gonna get this opportunity again. It'll probably sell out of the grocery store, and then I'll never see it again. So I grabbed 2 bottles. Get to the register, $79.99 is what it rang up as. I'm not complaining. I don't know if it was an extra sale or what the deal was, but $79.99. I got 2 bottles, and so that was $79.99 each, which is still steep for a bottle, but man, I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm so excited. You guys don't know how excited I am. I got home, I was just like, oh man, but I didn't have time to open it yesterday. I did not have the chance. So I'm going to do that tonight. Got a nice bottle and everything. And it has a big long story on the back that's written by Nick Offerman in kind of the style of like a Ron Swanson kind of thing. And I'm going to read this to you. It's lengthy. It's lengthy. Like, on the back of the box is that whole section, which doesn't seem like a lot, but off of a box with little writing, that's quite a bit. So I'm going to try to get through this. It says, everyone knows that there are 7 kinds of food. I don't know who everyone is. All of the fine people on this planet agree that the most gratifying thing a body can put in his or her or their mouth at any given time is one of the 7 delicious foods. Occasionally, you might hear of a dissenting opinion on this matter, some befuddled reader of books arguing for a well-balanced or even sensible menu, if you can imagine. But just look at how utterly crackers those words look when written together. What's next? Aerobic exercise? Preposterous. Of the legendary 7, which is in parentheses bacon, eggs, pancetta, Scotch eggs, fish and chips, beef, and steak, one food stands head and shoulders above the rest, and that, of course, is steak, the ultimate food, the cream of the cow. Figuratively speaking, of course, since cows also produce literal cream. And it goes on. Furthermore, all agree that the ideal mouthful of steak is approximately medium rare. That's how I like my steak, with a well-seared, flavorsome crust, and one of the best ways to possibly improve this gustatory delight, is by washing it down with the ideal dram of Lagavulin 11 year that we have curated specifically for this task. We collected charismatic casks of American white oak, with a few European oak thrown in for culture, all of which had previously held either Scotch or wine. The cask interiors were shaved down and then heavily recharred before we filled them with our golden 11-year single malt whiskey for maturation. Not bad, huh? Not bad. I kind of wish I'd bought some steaks at the time too, or I'd read this in the store, so I'd have gone and buy them. But that's fine. The result, which you very fortunately hold in your enviable grip even now, is sheer alchemy. It suggests some peat, chocolate, and treacle on the nose, with a hint of red berry and a creaminess that just waves hello in passing. The berry notes, however, pull up a chair in the mouth, complemented by pungent, peaty, woody, and spicy tones on the palate, infusing a pleasing, chocolatey sensibility. One could argue that the glowing, lingering, spicy, and simply sensational finish are precisely the pinnacle of what human evolution was leading up to this entire time. It's like a mouthful of Scottish poetry, pairing superbly with that steak, obviously. But you'll find it just as pleasing with any of the 7 delicious foods. Nick Offerman. So that's what he has to say about it. That's a mouthful. No, I don't have any steak. He also has another little quote on the front that says, I have traveled the world and sampled many attempts at pleasing nectars, but it is solely this distillation of Ely, a tiny charismatic Scotch isle, that has claimed my palate. Yea, and my heart into the bargain. Nick Offerman. So, I do not have a steak to eat while I drink this, but we're going to hope for the best. Anyway, I think it's going to be awesome. I've been looking forward to it, and the color of the bottle and everything is excellent. I got a smidge of water in my cup just to bring out the flavors. I'm going to put all that there. Nice, satisfying cork pop. Let's take a sniff of this together. Well, I mean, obviously you can, but oh boy, that's peat. That is some whew, that's some peat in there. Um, the teeling I had recently was very peaty for an Irish whiskey because Irish whiskeys aren't usually very peaty, but this is a Scotch. It's a Lagavulin, and man, does it smell bold. Whew, if you are not into peat smoke or the peated whiskeys, I don't think you're gonna enjoy this at all. But I think this is a treat. I think this is gonna be awesome, and I'm glad I got 2 bottles because I'm gonna enjoy the heck out of this one and let the other one just kind of sit there for special occasions. So let's pour it in to the Glencairn, a generous pour into the Glencairn. Put that back in the box there. And it's a good color. It's a good color. Swirls around there nice. Make sure I move my big meaty hand out of the way. Nice color, very rich auburn. Not super red, but just enough to give it that kind of auburn kind of look. Oh man, that smells delicious. That smells excellent. Now, alcohol content on this one, it's 46%, so it is 92 proof. It's 92 proof. It's not ridiculous, but not a little guy either. So, ooh, and you can smell after it's settled a minute. You can smell a little bit of fruitiness in there. Some bright fruitiness just on the edges. Smells like amazing to me, but I like a peated whiskey. So if you don't, again, this won't be quite as exciting for you. But for me, this is like, whoo, this is super exciting. So let's go ahead and give this a taste. Whew, deep exhale. Ooh, that is pleasant. Whew, it's got a sharpness. And you can definitely get the smoke. The smoke hits you. The smoke kind of drifts in and then just hits you. The peat smoke. That is really good. It is really heavy peat, though. Heavily peated. I know a lot of people who aren't into that are just going to be like, no, thank you. But for me, this is great stuff. This is, it's not as heavily peated as like the Octomore from Bruichladdich, but it is definitely a heavy peat smoke taste. You definitely will want to be eating something with this, probably something filling, savory. A steak wouldn't be a bad idea if you're a steak eater. If you are not a meat eater, there are different alternative things you could have. You could probably have a Impossible burger of some kind, or a Beyond Meat, or whatever else that you prefer. I know I've had the Impossible burgers from our local Burger King and things like that, and they're not bad. They're best if you make them at home, then you can season them up the way that you want to. But yeah, that would be great with a nice thick cut meal and maybe some heavy cream based sauce, which would be kind of a trick for me because I can't have cream of any kind because lactose intolerant, and that and this together would make me puke. But I think I can make a reasonable alternative with the alternative of the dairy free options for a nice heavy cream. A nice heavy cream sauce, which would be like a mushroom gravy or something, maybe. Let's take another taste now that it's settled on the tongue a little bit and see how that goes. Ooh, that is a lot of smokiness. The peat has mixed very much with the char from the barrel. Very heavy char taste, which in some whiskeys is kind of like, if that's all you're getting, if all you're getting is barrel and all you're getting is the taste of the wood, then it's kind of a letdown. But this has a nice, pleasing brightness to it when you first sip on it. And then it settles into into a really intense smokiness. Um, I've had other things that have tried different. Like I've tried the War Master, which was supposed to be mesquite smoked, and it was too much. It was like chewing on a leather belt, as I have said before. Um, but this this is like sitting next to a campfire, and it's right at the point, right before it's right after it's had its full glory, and it's starting to just start to kind of go into embers, but not that much. There's still a good fire going, and you get that the bits of the wood that are good and charred, and they're kind of white and gray, and they start collapsing and falling apart. The logs start falling apart into the embers at the edges, and you catch a little bit of that smoke, not enough to like choke on it or something like that, but you get a good whiff of it, and it settles on the mouth. You get that nice campfire kind of taste. I like that. I like that a lot. It is kind of drying out my tongue a little bit. Like my tongue feels really dry. So you would definitely need a food that is going to help with that moisture a little bit too. Like a nice steak would be a good suggestion, actually, which means this week when I go to the grocery store again, I think I'll probably see if I can pick out a couple of good cuts and see how that goes, just to see how right Mr. Offerman is in his pairing. But I like this. I like it a lot. I'm really pleased I grabbed it. It is something special. It is definitely something that I'm not going to just drink through this whole bottle in just like a few days or even a few weeks. I'm probably going to stretch this out for quite a while because I think it's worth it. And the price was great compared to what it's supposed to be. Online, it's 100 plus, and then you have shipping. There's always going to be shipping. There's very few places that are going to get you free shipping on alcohol. And shipping on alcohol is anywhere from 20 to 30 to 50 extra dollars sometimes, depending on where you're going to order from. So you are looking at, to get this online, you are looking at generally a $150 to $200 price. In my local grocery store in Canton, Ohio, it was listed at $94.99, which was a sale price, which might just have been because it was, Black Friday weekend. Hard to say. It didn't say anything like that. But also, it rang up and it was on the receipt listed as what it is. It wasn't listed as something different, so the UPC wasn't wrong. It came up as $79.99. So if you're going to get any of this and you're local to my area, go out and try to find it today. It's late now, so probably not right now, but Tuesday, tomorrow, and definitely try to scoop some of this stuff up if you're into these kind of flavors, because I don't know how long it's going to stay at this price. This could be a sale price. I didn't ask the person who rang me out because they don't really know that kind of stuff. I would have had to ask the person who actually stocked it, which is outside people from the OHLQ, the Ohio Liquor Control Board, or something like that. I don't remember what it all stands for. But they have special people that come in and do like assign what stores get what and how many bottles and all that other kind of thing. So $79.99, best price I have ever seen on the relatively new Lagavulin Offerman edition charred oak cask, aged 11 years. And for an 11-year-old whiskey, was with a celebrity name behind it, $79.99 is actually an extremely good price. Yeah, so I'm going to show you the box again because it's a nice box. It's got like flame effects on it, like char effects, sparks and things, and they're actually like raised up. It's like a textured on the box, real nice. It's got the Lagavulin crests on the side. It's got Nick's stylized face on the front. Very much a Ron Swanson-esque kind of thing. And yeah, excellent stuff. I'm still getting over my cough. That's not the alcohol. That's me still getting over the last bit of a cough, because when I get a cold, the cough is the last thing to go away. But delicious stuff. So if you like a peated whiskey, if you like a heavily peated whiskey, or if you're a fan of Lagavulin already, see if you can find it. It's great stuff. I like it. And I'm looking forward to finding what it will pair with meal-wise. So that's all for me. Keep an eye out. There's more content coming up over the course of the next few weeks. I have lots of things planned. So stay tuned. And as always, cheers.